Alright, so the bike is officially done. I figured I'd make a video on it. I haven't posted a video in a hot minute. Figured let's talk about the bike a little bit. So the wrap on this bike actually looks a lot more different depending on the sunlight. It's got a bunch of different like colors. That's compared to this side where the sun's not bouncing off the wrap a certain way. It has like a flat look. But yeah, so I've been rebuilding this bike for like 2 years and I finally finished it. I figured just sit down, talk a little bit about the bike and give a little bit more of a backstory behind it. So yeah, let's get right into it.
I actually used to own this bike back in 2019 and I only owned the bike for about, say, 2 months, somewhere around there. I ended up selling the bike. How I got the bike back is 4 years later down the road, I get a call from a police department asking about the bike. And I told them that I didn't have the bike, I sold it 4 years ago. They told me the bike went on to a police chase. After that, I told them, no, yeah, like that wasn't me, I sold the bike time ago, da da da. I had an alibi to prove that it wasn't me riding the bike. So after that, he asked me to come down to the towing company, well, the impound lot, because they ended up impounding the bike. I go to the impound lot, I talk to the truck driver, I also talked to the officer that was there. So after I had my chat with them, they pretty much asked if I wanted to buy the bike back. And I told them, well, I mean, it was just about a total loss. Like I'll throw a picture up right now to show you what it looked like when I first got it. The plastics on the bike were from a totally different year. It was a 2013 1000cc plastics on the bike. This bike is an 03 600, so obviously all the parts on it were just completely different. It looked like it was a complete ghost bike. Like you could tell that it was not registered. The reason they called me is because when they ran the VIN came back to my name. So when I heard the VIN came back to my name, I was a little confused. I didn't understand because I told them I sold the bike 4 years ago. The reason my name pretty much came back on the VIN is because nobody registered that bike in 4 years, and that kind of surprised me. So it makes sense of why they called me. And then so I ended up talking to the officer and the tow truck driver, and I pretty much just said, what do you need me to sign, just so I can say it wasn't me and I don't have to pay all the fines and all that stuff. So after all that, we had a long conversation about it, signed paperwork saying it wasn't me, it wasn't my bike. The impound company actually asked me if I wanted to buy the bike back, and I told him, like, hey man, it's a total loss, like I don't know if it's worth it. And he threw me out a number, and I honestly couldn't let it go. He told me for 200 bucks I could take it back, and honestly I said, fuck it, why not? Like, it's gonna take a while to rebuild and do all the work. It could be worth it for 200 bucks. You get your bike back. It's been 4 years. I said, fuck it, why not? I mean, I'm happy I did, and just because now it looks like this compared to what it did look like. So after I ended up buying the bike, I brought it back home. Well, I didn't bring it home. I brought it to my boys and we worked on it. We ended up working on this bike for 2 years. We put a bunch of parts, a bunch of work into it, a whole bunch of time. I didn't throw a whole bunch of money at it all at once just because I didn't have all the funds for it and I just wasn't too invested in getting the bike up and running just yet. But after some time, I ended up getting more and more motivation. I had some extra cash going around. At a certain point, I ended up seeing some good results that just kept getting me more motivated to keep working on it. The one thing that was a big problem though is after 2 years of working on this bike, I ran into a massive problem that I didn't unfortunately know I was gonna run into. Yeah, the bike wasn't registered in those 4 years and the VIN's under my name, but unfortunately the title to this bike was actually in another person's name in a whole other state. So that kind of just fucked everything up once the bike was completely done. I own this bike, but the title has another person's name on it in another state. I had to apply for a bonded title. So after I bought everything, for a while I was trying to debate on like what kind of wrap I wanted to go with, and this is called laser black. I do like it, but I have mixed feelings for the wrap. It looks great at a certain angle when the light hits it a certain way. When there's not enough light or you look at it at a certain angle, it looks flat. Like on this side it looks really flat, but when you look on the other side of the bike, when the sunlight is coming directly onto the wrap, that's where it gives that crazy colorful effect. But yeah, as of right now, I actually have my plates and registration coming into the mail, and the brand new title in my name is going to be coming in a few weeks after that. But to kind of give you like a breakdown of like what parts I bought and how much they cost and how much this build ended up coming out to be. So the parts I ended up buying for the bike are pegs, swing arm, passenger pegs, clutch and brake levers, bars, stock lowering link, the clutch case, the oil pan, grips, chain, the plastics, rear rim, the rear ball bearings for the rim, the wrap, a new battery, a new sprocket, a new brake rotor, a new tire, rear lights. I had to get another new drain bolt plug. I got a slip-on muffler. I ended up buying a crash cage, but it's still not here yet. It's actually still coming in the mail. I think it's coming in a couple more weeks. for that crash cage. I ended up getting a USB charging port for my phone. I have a titanium scrape block. I don't have it installed right now. I'm still waiting on the crash cage, and then I'm gonna probably do some new fabrication on the rear end, and I'll probably put the titanium scrape block on there. I had to get a new tinted front windshield, all new bolt hardware. I got a quad lock phone mount, brand new seat covers, air intake duct, header exhaust gaskets. For the header exhaust gaskets, I actually didn't even know I needed them. I found that out because I had an exhaust leak and you could hear it. I thought the engine was knocking at first when I first started rebuilding the bike, and that's when I found that out. It was a cheap part and it took literally like 10 minutes to fix. It was easy. So after all said and done, from all the parts and what they ended up costing me, was $1,734, which honestly, from a complete loss, it's a pretty cheap budget build, let alone a lot of the parts I did get were free or discounted from some personal friends, which helped out huge into this build. But yeah, that's pretty much all about this bike, a little bit of the backstory, pretty much everything I've done to this. I don't really plan on selling this bike right now. Kind of want to keep it. I'm gonna end up using this bike for a lot of stunts and learning how to do more stunts on this. I sold the dirt bike and I used that money to help buy for a lot of parts onto this bike. As of right now, this is my only bike. I got rid of the dirt bike, so I will be riding this around a lot. I'm hoping to make a bunch more content with this bike. I'm trying to get a new GoPro. My old one is very, very outdated. It's like a Hero 4. I can't remember. It's so old. But yeah, as soon as I get a new GoPro, I'm probably gonna start doing more vlogs on the bike. Leave a like and a comment if that's something you want to see, or maybe there's some other content you'd want to see with the bike or not. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I know it's a really short video. I haven't posted in a long time, but I figured I'd just give like an update on what was going on with this thing.